Krishna, the Para Brahman, and Krishna drank the milk from his respective mothers as if it were a nectarian beverage. So here we see Krishna is fulfilling the inner desire of his devotees, and he is so much relishing doing so. We talk about the nectar of devotional service, or the nectar of pleasing Krishna, the nectar of the sight of Krishna. Satam prasango mama virya sampadam galanti vit karna rasayanam kada sajyoshana dvatsvapavarga vartini shraddha rati bhakti anu kamishtiti. As we drink the pastimes of Krishna through our ears into our heart in the association of devotees, it acts like a rasayana. You all know what a rasayana is? So in Ayurveda, rasayana is some nourishment that immediately turns to energy in the body. A lot of what people eat nowadays, it just kind of rots and causes disease. Nice Ayurvedic food, you eat it and you become immediately healthy and full of energy. I had this experience once in Mayapur, where I was a guest for lunch at the Bhaktivedanta Academy, and it was a whole feast, and it was all locally grown produce, picked in season and cooked according to Ayurvedic recipes and served according to Ayurvedic recipes, and it was a big feast. But afterwards, instead of feeling tired, I felt energized. So that's a rasayana. So the devotees, when they are drinking through their ears to their hearts, the rasayana of Krishna's pastimes, not even participating in them, but just hearing about them. Just hearing about them. They feel energized, they feel full of life. Not to speak of participating in them. But Krishna also feels that. It says here, Krishna is accepting this breast milk from all these mothers as if it was nectar. He is so much relishing fulfilling the desires of the devotees. We focus on how can I fulfill Krishna's desires, and Krishna is focusing on how can I fulfill the desires of my devotees. So Prabhupada often quotes the verse, Nitya Nityanam Chaitanis Chaitanam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. Kaman, desire. Ishopanishad also describes that Krishna is he who's been fulfilling everyone's desires since time immemorial. And also says in the Bhagavatam, in the 4th canto, in the connection with the story of King Paranjana, that Krishna's lotus feet are like a kalpavriksha, they're like a desire tree. So this is love. Love means I'm trying to fulfill the desires of my beloved, and my beloved is trying to fulfill my desires. We talk about the 6 exchanges of love. We give gifts to the person we love, we accept gifts, we give them something to eat, they give us something to eat, and we each reveal what is in our mind, and we listen to the other reveal. So it's a reciprocal giving and taking. Prabhupada says Krishna is very responsive. Yeyatamam prapadinte. As I surrender, I reward them accordingly. And that's not a payment thing. That's not like as you pay, you get the different levels of goods or something like that. But it's a reciprocation of love. So unfortunately, we're trying to reciprocate with Krishna in the conditioned state in the wrong way. I was thinking how Prabhupada was asked one time on an airplane by the pilot, why is there evil? You all remember this conversation? The pilot says, why is there evil? What did Prabhupada respond? He said, evil is Krishna's what? Backside. Evil is Krishna's back. So one devotee yesterday sent me this really funny recording of a customer service conversation, a real customer service conversation, where this happened right here in the UK, where this man calls the shop and he says, I'm really upset with the pizza that I ordered because it's just bread, there's no topping. And the man says, well, you can file a complaint and we'll try to take care of it. And he said, but I need to have dinner right now and it's just bread. And he said, there's nothing on top of the tomato sauce. There's not even any tomato sauce. It's just bread. And the man's going on and he's so upset. I ordered a pizza and all I got was bread. You guys are useless. I'm going to complain. And then he goes on for about 5 or 10 minutes and then he stops and he says, oh, I opened the box from the bottom. So this is our dealings. It's a true story. It's actually they had the recording of the customer service department. So this is our problem. We're going to Krishna in our conditioned state and saying, Krishna, give me this, 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 give me this. This is generally religion. This is what's usually called religion in this material world. I go to God and I say, okay, like you go to Santa Claus, right? Of course, I never went to Santa Claus when I was a kid. Like people go to Santa Claus with their lists. I remember seeing in the shops, they have this, we were in one mall, seeing this big, Murti, big mannequin of Santa Claus, like he's God, and he has a long scroll in his hands. All the things that all the children want. You go to God and you say, my dear God, please cure my Aunt Sally of cancer. My dear God, please give me a better job. My dear God, please do this. My dear God, please do that. My dear God, please do that. And when Krishna doesn't, apparently, fulfill our desires in the way we want, I think I ordered a pizza and I just got a bunch of bread. So I get angry at God. I get angry at God. I call up the complaint department. Prabhupada tells that story of the women in World War II in Germany. They were going every day to the church and they were saying, our husbands are at war, our sons are at war, our fathers are at war. Please bring them back safely. Please bring them back safely. And they didn't come back. They died in the war. So then they became atheists. What is the use of this God that he doesn't fulfill my desires? So it's a fact that Krishna fulfills the desires of the living entity. But the real way to have one's desires fulfilled is explained here. So these devotees in Vrindavana, who are the mothers of Krishna's cowherd boyfriends, they had a desire. They're happy. They're very happy being the mothers of Krishna's friends. That's a wonderful service, to be Sri Dam's mother and Subal's mother. And what a wonderful service. But they also, and they were satisfied with that service. Not that they weren't satisfied with that service. That's their eternal relationship with Krishna. Kind of like being like in the Indian villages, they call them auntie. And all the elderly ladies they call auntie. All the elderly men they call uncle. It's like you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Chankazi. And he said, I'm just like your uncle. So they were very happy having that relationship, but at the same time, they also thought, I'd like a chance to take care of Krishna like Mother Yasoda. Now, it's interesting that this is not envy. They weren't envious of Mother Yasoda. They appreciate Mother Yasoda. They don't want to take away Mother Yasoda's service, but they want to do it too. So in this world, when I'm envious, it means I want it by having you not have it. It's not like I want to do it too. It's not as if I'm encouraged by what you're doing and I think, oh yes, I'd also like to do this. I'm thinking, I'd like to do it instead of you. So that's envy. The original form of that is, oh, that's wonderful. I'd like to do it too. I'd like to please. One becomes truly inspired by others' service and think, oh, I'd like to increase my service for Krishna like that also. So all of the village aunties, all of the mothers of Krishna's friends, they're all thinking, wow, Mother Yasoda does such nice service for Krishna. And they didn't want to take away your service. I said, I'd like to do that too. And of course, that wasn't really possible. So they did